massive game this weekend between Arsenal and Manchester United. So there's quite a bit to unpack here. Manchester United, you'll remember, beat Arsenal 3-1 back in September. Arsenal haven't lost since then. And even Erik ten Hag himself has said they're a much better team, Arsenal this is, than they were back then. Now, this divided opinion on the FC show last night as to which team would win, whether it would be a draw. My feeling was that Arsenal would get it done here. And it was really hard for me to call that. And I had to look at it and think, well, why do I think that? And I think a big factor here is the fact that there is no Casemiro. I do think he's so key to this team. I know everybody does. We've seen what he offers to this Manchester United team. And I feel that's going to be a factor, Luis, him not being there.
You're reading my mind, Kay. This is why we do this show, because me and you agree. I mean, I don't know if it's good for video highlights or dramatics, but like, yes, that's exactly why I think Arsenal are going to win this. Listen, like, you have to give a lot of commendation for Manchester United, because to your point about Arsenal going on such a run since that loss, Manchester United equally, since losing to Aston Villa last year, they haven't lost a game either. In fact, 2023 has been almost perfect. It's been absolutely fantastic. And, you know, the Ronaldo headache's gone. Erik ten Hag has such a dynamic force, Rashford and Bruno Fernandes, etc. But there are two teams in Europe who right now are above anybody else, Napoli and Arsenal. And I think that Arsenal, to me, just might be even more equal, you know, even a little bit higher, just because of what Mikel Arteta has been able to do in the space of 3 years. And I think that right now, and here's the key, they are putting together pieces that are going to help. Martin, no Casemiro to me is a massive thing for Manchester United, because guess what? Their most important player for Arsenal is Martin Odegaard. And he might just be able to have a field day when you don't have a battalion, a general like Casemiro. And guess what? They just got Leandro Trossard from Brighton, who's going to add that sort of plan B, off-the-ball kind of weaponry. I mean, I think it's going to be a very tight match. I think United are going to do the usual Ten Hag thing of like pressing high, countering. But when Arsenal have possession, when Arsenal are at home and they feel comfortable, I think it's a good go. I see a 3-1 win for Arsenal. I think it'll be tight until the very end, and then Arsenal will slowly unlock them. And it's because Casemiro's not playing. I totally agree with you.
Yeah, although Ten Hag has said, I did say, obviously, he said that they've improved a lot since then. But he said, as I said, we beat Arsenal last time without Casemiro. So we have an idea how to do it. He's definitely got a plan, and we shouldn't expect anything less. And I almost feel bad for underestimating him, but I don't just want to go for a draw. But I shouldn't be underestimating him because of what they've been doing, Manchester United, and what he's been doing, what he's changed in this team. I mean, it's night and day from what we've been seeing from Manchester United in recent years. And for people of our age, Luis, as well, growing up when we did in England in the 90s, whether you loved or hated Manchester United, you never, ever missed them play. They were so exciting. You knew they were to be feared. You knew they would always get the job done, even if it was in Fergie time. And so it just almost felt something wasn't right with the universe when Manchester United have been like they've been these last few years. And I think it's great to see. One of my, I know we've seen a lot about discipline recently, and I thought in the beginning, I didn't know if he should be as open as he is, Ten Hag. I think it's just the way he is and the way he'd like say why he left this player out or why he did this. It wasn't like he was ever doing it in the way some of the coaches do, where when Pep called his players out the other day, it's because he was all frustrated and you could see he was just getting his thoughts out, where Mourinho can do it sometimes and it's really calculated. And I'm sure there was some part of when Erik ten Hag's done it that has been calculated, but it's always seemed fair as well. And you get the sense that what he's been saying in public is what he's been saying to them, maybe a little bit more to them. But that was probably my only thing in the beginning, but it seems to be working. Everything he's done, they know if they cross the line with him, they'll be punished. They know they then have the chance to make up for it and show him that they're sorry and deliver on the pitch. And it does seem to be working with this side.
Yeah. Totally. Listen, one of the most important things about building success in a club, aside, of course, from the obvious, like smart ownership, good recruitment, all that stuff, is a managerial change that can not just change the players, but culture. Culture is so important. And I see it right now with my very own Aston Villa and Unai Emery, how, you know, a change of culture can do wonders. And I think that's what Erik ten Hag is doing. Remember, you mentioned Sir Alex Ferguson's Manchester United in the 90s. I remember too well growing up in England and seeing, you know, just the dominance. But it did take like 1 or 2 years for Sir Alex Ferguson to figure it out, to figure out that culture. Once you implement that culture, then the sky's the limit. And I think that Ten Hag knew it as soon as he entered, that he had to like maneuver a few things, Ronaldo being one of them, right? Not just the person, but also other issues as well. You know, just the overall disciplined way, the way that this club trained, played, etc. And slowly but surely, Ten Hag is changing the culture and sort of returning it, you know, to what Manchester United used to be.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.